Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Foods for Health live chat. Wednesday, December 1st. Hard to believe. The days are just honestly flying by right now. Already December 1st. Again, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Really hard. It's so funny when we're starting. Every time when I say the date, it just seems like the days are just continually just passing us by, getting closer to Christmas, getting closer to the new year. I know a lot of people who are looking forward to the new year. What's that saying? New year, new self, or new me. But we can take steps where a month before we can already start having that new me already here on December 1st. And we're going to make sure that we have a good chat discussing improving digestion. And also along with that, if we're going to talk about digestion, we also have to talk a little bit about improving gut health as well. So hopefully everyone can hear me. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Please let me know in chat. Say hi in chat. Let me know you can hear me. That would be greatly appreciated. Eunice, thank you so much. Great seeing you in chat so early this morning. 7 a.m. here, guys. Again, like I said, every Wednesday and Sunday, starting at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, my time here. So thank you very much for joining me. But hard to believe, already December 1st. This is the time where we really want to start, not only thinking about digestion and gut health and everything like that, but it's this time of year where we are, thinking about things like gaining weight, improving, if we're dealing with things like obesity, getting enough nutrients in, getting exercise in, all of those different things as well. It seems like always that holiday season. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. But for today's chat, here's what I want to go over. I want to talk about some foods, obviously. It's in the title, that improve digestion and digestive health. Also gut health, how we can do that. All right, what foods are going to be able to do that? And then maybe what, if we add some of these foods, make some of the lifestyle changes that we're going to talk about, what are some of the conditions that we can help, relieve? Some of the digestive ailments that we can help to relieve due to making a change in our diet and also into our lifestyle. That's the two big goals for me today that I would like to do. And then, of course, you guys are more than welcome, more than free to ask your own questions, and then we can just go from there. But we see so much, and the thing that I like to kind of point out is we see so much today the rise of, these digestive related ailments. One of the biggest ones being irritable bowel or inflammatory bowel disease. The other one being irritable bowel syndrome. All right, this kind of sound the same. It's IBD and IBS. Okay, so those are two of the biggest ones. But we see such an increase in, one second here. We see such an increase in these digestive related ailments that, it's so important. And the reason why is just we're losing things that are not only things, but also we're losing, our health and types of foods that are going to be improving our digestive health and improving our overall gut health. Those are the important things that we want to make sure that we are focusing on. But like I said, a huge uptake, all right, a huge increase, all right, in things like inflammatory bowel disease, all right. That's long-lasting inflammation within the digestive tract, guys. I talk about inflammation all the times. So one of the ways that we want to make sure that we're dealing with these sort of uptakes in inflammatory bowel disease is decreasing inflammation within the digestive tract. All right. I think inflammatory bowel disease, and I say one of the reasons why this is one of the bigger ones that we're seeing today, millions of Americans, all right, not even around the world, but millions of Americans are dealing with some sort of inflammatory bowel disease. All right, and it can be the effects of it, like autoimmune diseases, Crohn's disease, colitis, diarrhea, abdominal pain, all things that come from inflammatory bowel disease. All right, so it's kind of like an umbrella term. It's an umbrella term, but it's just wreaking havoc on our digestive system because, like I said, it's usually caused by chronic inflammation within the digestive tract. And then if we're dealing with inflammation, guys, don't forget too, not only are we dealing with, an increase in the risk of Crohn's disease, autoimmune diseases, even diarrhea, abdominal pain, things like that, we're losing nutrient uptake. All right, so we're not intaking as many nutrients as we want as well. So we could be adding healthy foods, right, but we're not absorbing those healthy nutrients as much either, just because of the amount of inflammation that is in the body. Now, great. If someone can just let me know that I can be heard in chat, that would be great. And again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me, and thank you so much for the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. So one of the first ones, inflammatory bowel disease, guys. We want to make sure that we're treating that the right way, adding healthy foods to our diet, getting those anti-inflammatory compounds, and getting good nutrition as well. The other one, irritable bowel syndrome. All right, irritable bowel syndrome, again, millions of people. All right, I read a study, it's almost 20 million Americans have irritable bowel syndrome, all right, or are dealing with symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome, all right? I mean, if we're talking about epidemics, if I talk about epidemics of heart health or obesity or things like that, then, we can see an epidemic of irritable bowel syndrome. 20 million Americans, all right? Just think about how many people around the world are dealing with irritable bowel syndrome. The number is incredibly high, all right? And again, some of the common symptoms, you might see with irritable bowel syndrome, stomach pain, diarrhea is a big one, constipation is another one. All right, again, bloating and things like that, inflammation within the digestive tract. And again, irritable bowel syndrome, basically you're dealing with abdominal pain. Okay, and it's pretty fairly constant. All right, it might come and go a little bit, and the severity might come and go, but you're dealing with abdominal pain on a pretty consistent basis. Other ones that are really big. All right, so the two biggest ones that I would probably say are inflammatory bowel disease, IBD. All right, obviously irritable bowel syndrome. All right, we know almost 20 million Americans alone are dealing with irritable bowel syndrome. All right, it's the same percentages here in Canada. All right, and I'm sure it would be the exact same, all right, or at least very similar to the to Europe, to other eastern parts of the world. A lot of digestive issues going on. A lot of that has to do with our diet, so that's why we want to make sure we talk about foods that are going to improve digestion and improve gut health. Another one, all right, a big one, guys, all right, constipation, chronic constipation. You wouldn't believe how many individuals and just how many even clients that I deal with who are dealing with constipation and the effects of constipation, all right? I think I read the latest study was something like 65 million individuals in the United States. Wow. I believe that's almost a fifth of the population of the United States is dealing with some sort of effect of chronic constipation. All right, big part of that. All right, one, fluids, and we'll talk about all of this, guys. Fluids are probably fairly low. All right, with constipation, fiber is probably fairly low, and just not getting enough nutrients. All right, or not having the right foods in our diet. All right, having too much sugar, sodium, things like that. Too much saturated fats. All of those different things. Also, having foods that are foods that are going to create inflammation within the digestive system as well, or the digestive tract. Good morning, Morgan. Great to see you. Thank you so much. Blessed Tone, good morning. I need to hear this perfect. All right, you're right on time. We are literally just starting. I just went over some of the more common digestive ailments. First being inflammatory bowel disease. All right, second, irritable bowel syndrome, and then maybe just the most common is constipation. All right, constipation affecting 65 million Americans alone. Chronic constipation we're talking about. GERD is another big one. All right, so almost like that acid reflux, heartburn, acid reflux. All right, also known as GERD. All right, that's a huge one. All again having to do with digestive health, having to do with gut health and everything like that. You're right, Martin. Sometimes medication is needed. You're absolutely right. Medication, changing up the diet, changing the lifestyle. All right. Again, all of the things that we always talk about. That's why I always say speak with your medical practitioner as well. But there's big changes that we can make in our diet as well, and making sure that we're getting the right foods. Again, I think improving digestive health, I think there's tons of foods that we can add to our diet where we're able to improve digestive health and gut health. All right. I think there's some things that we can really add that are very versatile, all right, that are easy to add, that you can add to different recipes, that you can put in smoothies. All right. I think digestive health the food can play a huge role, all right, because we know, all right, constipation, inflammatory bowel disease, irritable bowel disease. We know that a lot of that, yes, all right, it could be genetic, we might just pull the short straw on that one, but we know a lot of the times it's caused by the foods that we're eating, all right, or the foods that we're not eating, all right. It's caused by our diet and also a lack of liquids, all right, and water. So we're wanting to make sure that we're trying to reduce these digestive related ailments. And with that, if you're dealing with inflammatory bowel disease, gut health is going to be very, very low. You probably don't have a lot of good bacteria, probably high bad bacteria. Same thing with irritable bowel syndrome. I mean, if you have inflammation and abdominal pain, right, diarrhea, things like that, of course, all right, we don't have the good bacteria. It's not thriving in the digestive system. You probably have some bad bacteria in there. So we just want to make sure we're keeping an eye on that, and we'll talk about some foods like probiotics, prebiotics that are going to be good for improving gut health as well. And again, you guys can make sure, please ask your questions. All right, I'm more than happy to answer them. But we got to make sure that we have the fiber. The first thing, those are sort of the ailments, and this is why I want to talk about it. Again, we always talk about an epidemic of heart disease, of obesity, of, things of that nature, inflammation, all right, even mental disorders and things like that. We also have to talk a little bit about the epidemic of digestive health, all right. If we have, like I said, those numbers, 20 million people irritable bowel syndrome, 65 million people chronic constipation, and all of the symptoms that come from that, right? Then we really need to make sure that we're focusing on proper digestion and good gut health. Okay. So let's start listing off. So now we know some of the digestive ailments. Some of the bigger ones, you guys have probably heard of it. Diverticulitis. This is the one where Morgan, I think, you can make changes to your diet, but sometimes when we're dealing with such complex and things like diverticulitis, colitis, and things like that, medications might need to be used. Might have to go on a very, very specific diet for that. Sometimes something like a liquid diet. All right, so you need to make sure that you speak to your medical practitioner with that. Same thing with gallstones, of course. About 20 million Americans, all right, have gallstones, all right. You need to make sure, of course, you speak with your medical practitioner, all right, about that. All right, and then just some of the symptoms of gallstones. I think one can be nausea, all right, which is horrible. Fever can be another one. The biggest one, probably severe pain, all right. Gallstones are very, very painful. So, of course, please speak with your medical practitioner. And we're going to get into the foods here, guys. And it's nice because, by adding, there's so many people. I always say, people always ask me, especially when I do consultations and stuff like that, and even with clients that I work with, right? They try to get on all of these supplements or all of these different vitamins and things of that nature. I think one of the biggest ones, all right, that I always there's always like a big three, all right, or like four. Everyone wants to spend all this money on this and that. I think the biggest ones that you could probably take are maybe like a fish oil supplement is always big. I always recommend that. All right. I always recommend a multivitamin, of course, to make sure you're getting in your good nutrition. But then I think a probiotic definitely has to be on the list because we're seeing just the importance of overall gut health and how that can affect, they're calling our gut our second brain, how our gut health not only can it improve digestion, but it can also improve our overall immune system, our immunity, all right, our mood even. The connection between our gut and our mood, huge, all right? So gut health has a tremendous effect on our overall health. Try, good to see you in here. Padma, thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate you guys joining so early here for me. I'm glad that the 7 a.m. streams aren't preventing us from getting people in here. Thank you so much. I used to have this feeling that food would get stuck in my chest whenever I ate. I still don't know what that was, but I figured it was due to the incessant lying down after eating with the lockdown. Yes, it definitely could be. I know, like, if you're getting that feeling stuck in your chest, something as easy as just sitting up, making sure you chew your food and things of that nature. And then again, it could be a complex issue as well. If it's only happening when you're lying down and then you sit up or you stand up, all right, or sitting up while you're eating, that's a good indicator of what's causing it. All right, you kind of narrowed it down. It's probably due to the lying down. But yeah, that's something we definitely want to stay away from. That's not a pleasant feeling. Padma, again, thank you so much for joining me and joining us in the chat. Right now, other things, again, we talked about diarrhea. Again, an epidemic. A lot of individuals dealing with diarrhea. A lot of people, like we said, irritable bowel syndrome, colitis, Crohn's disease is a big one. All right. And then just certain infections within the digestive system. All right. And also, one last thing before we get into the foods. All right. A huge indicator of poor digestion, poor gut health is going to be poor skin health to go along with it. All right. A lot of the times you'll see things like eczema, dry skin, all right, reddish skin, things of that nature. All right. And again, that's just because our gut health has so many there's so many things connected to our overall gut health. Like I said, it can be from mood disorders to energy to autoimmune diseases. Also, again, if it's autoimmune diseases, it's going to affect their skin. Bless. Absolutely. There's a good chance. Absolutely. Maybe not all, but it just sort of depends what the pain is, what's causing the pain. Sometimes if it could be a medical, condition or anything like that. But a lot of the times when it comes to digestive health, a lot of times the foods that we eat, and I will never suggest that everything, all right, the foods we eat will cause everything, all right, all pain. But a lot of the times, if we're dealing with inflammatory bowel disease because we're eating too much sugar or we're not drinking enough liquid, right, or we're not getting enough fiber in our diet, then yes, of course, that's going to probably create some pain, some bloating, some inflammation within the digestive tract. It's going to be creating poor gut health. So great point. Thank you, Bless. Great to have you guys in here. Thank you so much for the engagement. Now we'll talk about probiotics. We'll talk about prebiotics. I think prebiotics is the big one. A lot of people know about the probiotics. All right, probiotics are, a lot of people take probiotic supplements. A lot of it comes from yogurt. Just make sure it has that active bacterial cultures in it. All right, if it's not active, all right, we're not getting a good source of probiotics. All right, a lot of it comes from dairy and things like that. All right, so we'll make sure that we talk about that as well. All right. Again, if we want to improve digestion naturally, all right, and again, we already talked about some of the digestive symptoms, all right, upset stomach, gas, constipation, diarrhea, heartburn. Let's talk first about the lifestyle changes. All right, we need to make these lifestyle changes, guys. Again, if you don't make the lifestyle changes, think about it like this. Right? If we don't make the lifestyle changes, then adding in these foods are going to have a very, very little effect on our overall digestive health and gut health. I mean, if we're drinking 4 sodas a day, all right, adding a probiotic or some prebiotics isn't going to do too much to improve our overall digestion and our gut health. All right, we're going to be dealing with that inflammation. We're going to be dealing with things like bloating, excess gas, just unhealthy gut health. All right, we're not giving the chance for good bacteria in the gut to thrive. Again, that's not to be judgmental if we're doing that or if we're dealing with that, but we want to give an environment to our digestive tract, not just the gut, the entire digestive tract, to help that good bacteria to thrive as often as we can. So this is why I think it's so important to make sure that we're having lifestyle changes as well. All right, we have the lifestyle changes, and then we kind of add in these foods to improve our overall digestion and overall gut health. Tyrell, thank you so much. Welcome to the chat. Good morning. Is constipation I have? Okay, you're dealing with constipation. You're taking laxatives. Okay, yes. Often, I wonder if your doctor told you about taking laxatives and stuff like that. Some of the foods we'll talk about and some of the some of the things that we can add to our diet have mild natural laxative effects. Again, that's why it's very, very important to speak with your doctor. If you're dealing with chronic constipation, sometimes you have to go into sort of those medications, go into that realm as well. But we will talk about some foods, all right, and some of these lifestyle changes, all right, that are going to give us a mild natural laxative effect. Is it enough sometimes? Maybe not, all right, but sometimes it is, so we'll make sure that we touch on those. Great point. But again, we're going back to the lifestyle changes, guys. If we don't make these lifestyle changes, adding in these foods is going to have very, very little effect on improving digestion and gut health, especially gut health. I mean, if we're drinking 4 sodas a day, guys, or if we're consuming high fructose corn syrup on a regular basis, all right, and things like that, if we're not getting in enough fiber, very tough to improve digestion and very tough to improve overall gut health. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some of the lifestyle changes. One of the biggest ones, all right, we found, and through multiple studies, all right, being chronically dehydrated is going to lead to a lot of digestive ailments and lower overall gut health. All right, we saw in multiple studies that low fluid intake is a very, very common cause of constipation and digestive related ailments. Again, if we're not drinking water, we're not giving ourselves a chance to get rid of those toxins within the digestive tract. All right, so we want to make sure that we're getting enough water. Again, I see it all the time, and I've said this before, but in my consultations, finding out that individuals drink 1 to 2 glasses of water per day and then that's it, all right, rather than like your 6 to 8 glasses of water, especially if they're working out, all right, you need obviously more than 1 glass of water, all right, you want to shoot for that 6 to 8, but a lot of individuals, all right, are chronically dehydrated. Of course, if we're chronically dehydrated, that's only wreaking havoc on our digestive tract, on our overall digestive system, on the process and function, and also on our overall gut health. So the first one, make sure that we're staying hydrated, guys, all right. Non-caffeinated fluids if possible, all right? So coffee, although I'm having a coffee right now, I've had 2 glasses of water. Usually one of my go-tos is drinking 2 glasses of water right when I wake up, but try, to get non-caffeinated fluids in per day. Count those as your liquids. All right, caffeinated, all right, is fine. It doesn't mean you can't drink caffeinated drinks like coffee, maybe some higher, like black teas have a little bit more caffeine in them. I'll have chai tea sometimes. All right, that's fine. Just make sure you're getting in some extra fluids if you're doing that. All right, so we want to make sure that we're staying hydrated. Herbal teas are great. You can count those as non-caffeinated. But we need to make sure that we're staying hydrated, guys. One, it's going to help prevent constipation. It's going to help reduce inflammation within the digestive tract, and it gives the body a good chance to help good bacteria in the gut to thrive. So first one, maybe one of the best things that we can do is stay hydrated. The other thing that we can do, all right, is add healthy fats, and we'll talk about this, all right? We'll make sure that we talk about this when we talk about the foods that we want to have in our diet. We want healthy fats in our diet, all right? Healthy fats are good for digestion. We need them. They're almost required, all right, for proper digestion. Kind of specifically, the types of fats that we want to add to our diet, all right, if we want to improve overall gut health and digestion, is omega-3 fatty acids. So that's why I told you guys that, remember when I said if there's a big 3 of supplements that I kind of recommend to people, one of them being fish oil, and I take fish oil just, full disclosure, I usually will take fish oil every single morning. All right, and I'll have walnuts with it, so it has tremendous amounts, because remember, walnuts are a natural source, sort of a plant-based source of omega-3 fatty acids. But this is huge, and we'll get more into it into foods, but this is the lifestyle changes that we need to make. We want to make sure that we're adding more healthy fats and taking away unhealthy fats. Monounsaturated fats, polyunsaturated fats, but the big one is omega-3 fatty acids. All right, take away the saturated fats, trans fats. We do not like those, especially when it comes to digestion and gut health. Now, again, why? Let's go back to the why. With omega-3 fatty acids, again, we've seen in numerous studies that omega-3 fatty acids can help decrease the risk of developing inflammatory bowel diseases. One, all right, like colitis, diverticulitis. We already know that inflammatory bowel disease, all right, over 20 million Americans are dealing with that disease alone, all right, and then all of the complications that come with it. That's just talking about inflammatory bowel disease. But when you start adding in colitis, all right, when you start adding in diverticulitis, you start talking about abdominal pain, bloating, excess gas, even constipation can come from that. All right, so that's why it's important to add these healthy fats, and we'll talk about some foods that can do that for us. Add in some omega-3 fatty acids. I think omega-3s are sort of one of the most underrated sort of foods, all right, or fatty acids at least, that we can add to our diet to increase digestion. All right, it can be a little bit tougher. It's easy to get those omega-6s. Remember, guys, we talked about this in other chats before. It's a lot easier to get those polyunsaturated fats. Even monounsaturated fats is easier for eating superfoods like avocado, things of that nature. But the omega-3s is what we really want to focus on, guys. That can be through fatty fish like salmon. For me, it's having a fish oil, and that's why I recommend taking a supplement sometimes. Does it have to be through a supplement? Absolutely not. Walnuts are a good source. Those fatty fish are a good source. Lots of sources of omega-3 fatty acids. But that's the one that we want to focus on, guys. So staying hydrated, adding healthy fats. The other one is for the lifestyle changes that we need to make, all right? Manage stress. A lot of people don't think about that, but stress wreaks havoc, all right, and is horrible for our overall digestive system, all right? And again, a lot of people will come into here, right, and are expecting, okay, tell me what to eat. Tell me, what food is good, all right? Is this type of food good? What's a good carbohydrate? Should I be eating whole grains or staying away from carbohydrates? But if we're dealing with a lot of stress on a day-to-day basis, that's only going to be wreaking havoc on the digestive system. And I think it's a big problem, all right, and one of the big issues why individuals are dealing with irritable bowel syndrome. There's been studies that show a correlation to that. So again, if we're adding in these foods, but we're living a very, very stressful lifestyle, all right, or we're having a lot of stress, all right, like I said, multiple studies, guys, showing a correlation between stress and digestive ailments and unhealthy gut. All right, so another big one was leaky gut syndrome, by the way. We haven't talked about that, and we will talk about that a little bit. But we see with stress, all right, it's been associated, with irritable bowel syndrome, all right? So one of the biggest ones, remember, with irritable bowel syndrome, all right, millions of Americans, millions of individuals all around the world dealing with IBS. All right. Also, we see that there's a big correlation between constipation and also diarrhea. Maybe you've gone through that yourself. All right. I know I have. All right. In higher stress times in our life, all right, constipation increases and diarrhea increases. Stress hormones directly affect digestion. We know that as fact through a number of different studies, guys. So we want to make sure that we try to de-stress as much as we can. Get good sleep. A lifestyle change that we can do is try to get some exercise. Remember, it doesn't have to be super intense. Moderate exercise is is just fine. I like to kind of describe it as level 2 exercise. With level 2 exercise, you could be going for a 30 to 40 minute walk and still be able to hold a conversation with someone. That is just fine. That's more than enough. That's a nice high intensity, especially if you're keeping it around 35 to 40 minutes, guys. Again, if we're just starting to add, exercise, or as I call it sometimes, movement, if we're just starting to add that, don't just jump up to the recommended 150 minutes. If you're starting from 0, it's seldom. It's very, very rare that someone will just jump right up into 150 minutes each week. All right, I think it's 2.5 hours a week of exercise. All right, that can be very tough for people. Take it step by step, guys. Take it step by step. Start by adding 30 minutes in a week. All right, just getting maybe 1 walk in. Then add 2 walks. You're already up to an hour. All right, you're up to 60. And then you can just build from there. Resistance training, I always like to recommend as well. All right. If you have any questions on that, I'm going to put my business email in the chat, you guys can feel free to send me a message. All right, this is kind of what I do for a living. All right, so I'm more than happy, all right, to help with overall health. All right, and I want you guys to feel free to send me an email. So let me just type this in here as I'm just talking real quick. A lot of people ask me about consultations and, programs, nutritional programs, workout programs, and things like that. So there's my business email, guys. Feel free to send me an email, and we can go from there. But I've got a lot of people who have been asking about consultations and stuff like that. All right, so there's the business email. Jennifer, great to have you in here. Thank you so much. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining the discussion. All right, we're just getting going here. Thank you so much. Always great to see you in here. Okay, so let's continue with our lifestyle changes, guys. A big one, all right, again, is that managing stress. So staying hydrated, healthy fats to the diet, managing stress, all right, stress management, all right, relaxation, all right. We've seen there's been studies where something like, and I'm not suggesting that everyone has to go out and get cognitive behavior therapy like CBT, right? But we've seen studies where people who are going and getting CBT, all right, have improved digestive symptoms. All right, again, do you have to do that? No, because we see the same correlation with yoga, with meditation. All right, so de-stress or stress management techniques. All right, meditation, yoga. All right, deep breathing. All right, switching up our mindset. We all see the same thing: increase in digestive health. All right, increase in digestive health. All right, an increase in gut health. We need to de-stress, and we're living in a stressful time right now. So of course, this is when digestive health, all right, can be at an all-time low, or even gut health, especially if we're not adding in the foods that we're going to talk about. Thanks for the contact. My pleasure, Morgan. No problem. Yep, that's the easiest way to get a hold of me. I check that every day. Oh, my pleasure, Jennifer. Like I said, great to see you in here. Okay, so that's another lifestyle change that we can make, guys. All right. Again, lastly, I'll just talk about it. We need to get moving. All right, a huge lifestyle change. All right, get moving. Regular exercise is one of the best ways to improve digestion. All right, we've seen through moderate exercise in studies, all right, one of the best ways to increase. So it could be anything: walking, hiking, slow jogging, even just getting to the gym. If you do that, all right, that's fine. Do you have to go to the gym? No. All right, but we see a huge increase, significant increase in overall digestive health and overall gut health once we start regular exercise. And regular exercise can be, again, 30 minutes each day. Again, does it have to be daily? I don't think so. I think as long as you're starting and you're getting out there moving, you see all the time people talking about regular exercise. Get your 30 minutes in every day. Now, that's not me being easy on people, but we have to be realistic. Are people just going to jump into getting 30 minutes of exercise every single day? Is that a real expectation that we can sort of expect from everyone? Again, if you're setting up sort of an exercise schedule or trying to get regular exercise, we need to ask ourselves, one, all right, is it realistic? All right, I would say realistic is just starting out with 2 to 3. If you can get 2 to 3 in there, you're starting from 0. All right, that's amazing. Maybe we can build it up to regular exercise being daily. But you start, from 0, go to 2 to 3, all right? If you're making goals when it comes to exercise or to diet, make sure one of the biggest things is make sure that we're keeping our goals realistic, all right? If it's not realistic, it's not going to happen, all right? And you're just going to burn out, and then we're just back to square one. Bless. My doctor recommended 10 minutes 3 times a day. So 30 minutes a day, there you go, all right? So exactly 30 minutes a day. Interesting that it would be 10 minutes, right? Like splitting it up into 10 minutes. You can split it up any way you want, but splitting up into 10 minutes 3 times a day. There must be some sort of reason why they would want you, or why they would recommend, the doctor would recommend to splitting it up like that. Sometimes it can be a little bit tough to split it up. All right, you got to kind of set up, you got to set the time, get ready for your workout, finish your workout. Sometimes it's just easier just to get that 20 to 30 minutes in all at once. But hey, listen to your doctor, of course. You always want to listen to your doctor. But just as I said, regular exercise, 30 minutes a day, just like your doctor said, that's 30 minutes a day right there. Tammy, good morning to you. Again, some of my biggest supporters in here. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in. All right, it's awesome to have you. Awesome to have you guys in here. Tammy, I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Happy December 1st. Hard to believe. Hard to say that. I almost messed it up on my intro. But regular exercise, guys. Need to get moving. All right. I think maybe one of the reasons why, if it was 10 minutes, I think maybe going for a walk after eating, maybe they're thinking, go for a 10-minute walk after having breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Of course, that's going to assist the body in, helping food move throughout the digestive tract. All right, maybe that's why. All right, but again, we also see in more studies, regular exercise. And again, it can be daily or it can be 2 to 3 to start. All right, it can significantly improve chronic constipation, and we know the number was very high. 65 million Americans dealing with chronic constipation or some sort of symptoms related to constipation. All right, we also know, guys, all right, and again, this is going to be the last after a stroke. Yes, after a stroke, absolutely. That's great, Bless. If you can get that in, all right, I'm not sure if you're getting the 10 minutes in 3 times every single day, but absolutely, you're focusing on your health. That's the best thing you can do. Diet, exercise, you want it all coming together. Great for you if you're getting that in. And absolutely, after a stroke, 100%, listen to your doctor, 100%. Enjoy my rebounder. I jumped throughout the day. That's awesome. Nope. Happy December. Happy December to you as well, Tammy. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And the last thing I'll say with our exercise here, guys, again, there's been a lot of studies. I already said with inflammatory bowel disease, all right, and, just inflammation, regular exercise. And again, regular exercise, I'll call 2 to 3 times a week, especially if we're starting at 0. If you think most people are working out every day, all right, the sad fact is that's just untrue. All right, a lot of people aren't working out at all or getting regular exercise at all. That's not to be judgmental. That's just the facts. All right, we just have to look at the facts. So going from 0 to every single day, that's a big jump. How realistic is it, and how what are the odds that we're going to be able to maintain that? It has to be maintainable. Realistic and maintainable. Consistency. Those are the 2 biggest things. But we know through regular exercise that we can reduce symptoms of inflammatory bowel disease due to its anti-inflammatory effects. All right, so regular exercise, we already said more than 20 million Americans, and this is all over the world. I'm only using Americans because that was the easiest one to find in the studies. All right, you're going to find the very similar numbers and very similar percentages all around the world, but we know that regular exercise, all right, movement, all right, as I like to call it, can reduce symptoms of inflammatory bowel disease, which millions of individuals are dealing with on a daily basis. I jump in the morning and evening. Good for you. That's awesome, Tammy. Yeah, a big one. All right, I have a lot of one of the more popular ones is those little sort of mini trampolines, getting up, getting moving, circulation. All right, that's excellent. And it's good cardio. It's going to get the heart rate up 100%. Plus, it's fun. Turbine, hi, welcome. Turbine, are you new to the chat? Usually I can remember. If not, I apologize, but welcome, Turbine. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in. Thank you. For me, exercise became a habit as I made it a part of my daily routine. Excellent, Morgan. You're 100% right. You're taking the words right out of my mouth. Exercise becomes a habit, guys. Just like your diet and what we eat becomes a habit. All right, cutting out even things like consuming sugar becomes a habit. We know that sugar is addictive. All right, so just like waking up and having your morning coffee can become a habit. All right, I've read a very interesting book on habits. All right, 2 interesting books. Atomic Habits was the latest one that I read. All right, but that cycle can be very, very powerful, all right, with habits and building habits. So you're right. That's why I always say, all right, we can't just jump from 0 to 7 days a week. All right, we haven't built the habit. But once we build that habit, remember, we think of building habits 1% a day. All right, run 1% a day. Change is great. You don't have to go for those home runs, guys. If you're just going from 0 to 2 to 3, to even 2 to 3 is a big jump. Just 1's a nice one. It's going to build up. You're going to start building that habit. 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 3. Maybe 20 minutes becomes 30 minutes. Take it day by day and step by step, no pun intended. I jump in the and evening. That's good, Tammy. So you're getting some good, cardiovascular in there. Probably legs are going to be probably a little bit sore to start as well, but you're going to build that up. The tolerance for the legs, very good. Seems grains can rupture lining of digestive tract. Well, it depends what sort of, turbine. It's an interesting comment. Thank you for making it. If we'll talk about this a little bit, and we'll talk about the foods here right after, because that was the last lifestyle change that I wanted to bring up. But again, it depends on what type of grains that we're eating. All right. Sugar can definitely have a major effect on digestive tract. All right. It's over time, and it's the thing that we really want to be concerned with is, again, consistency and sort of the chronic way that we're eating. All right, how are we eating long term? Live up in a farm and walk 5 hours a day. Turbine, you're an active guy, very active. Yeah, if I believe it though, if you're on a farm, I'm sure you're on your feet pretty much all day and pretty much lifting all day. Makes 100%, because that's some hard work. I'm the same way. I help train people. I'm working out. Usually my workouts are 100, usually like 100, close to 100 minutes, I guess, these days. All right. And again, I'm not perfect. I'm not saying that I am. All right. But it's part of my job. And if you're going to, do this as a job, you want to be professional. So you got to walk the walk as well. That's why I'm giving you guys my business email. It's up there if you didn't see it. All right, this is my bread and butter. Feel free to send me a message. And thank you so much for the 20 thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. All right, so listen to our bodies, guys. All right, maybe the last things I'll just say, get moving. All right, if we smoke, all right, again, that can double, that can wreak havoc on our digestive system and gut health, lead to more acid reflux, all right, stomach ulcers, things like that, colitis, an increase that we're finding out in studies. So smoking, that's another huge lifestyle change. Alcohol, of course, all right, ulcers, heartburn, acid reflux, alcohol consumption, all right, huge correlation to inflammatory bowel disease, leaky gut syndrome. So there we go. We're finally talking about that. Again, inflammatory bowel disease, leaky gut syndrome. If we're drinking alcohol, all right, especially not in moderation, all right, excessive alcohol, that's what these studies were on. Again, I would try to cut it out entirely, but excessive alcohol consumption, all right, gastrointestinal tract, increase in inflammation, so inflammatory bowel disease, increase in the risk of leaky gut syndrome, all right, and an increase in bad bacteria in the gut, not allowing that good bacteria, all right, to thrive, all right, something that's very important for digestion and very important for overall gut health, all right. So just making sure we're watching our alcohol intake, all right. They have late night eating in there. I would instead of late night eating, I would just put in, if you're eating a healthy, superfoods at night, that's not going to have a huge effect on our digestion. I think it's individuals who are more prone to sort of heartburn and indigestion who have to sort of watch out for that late night eating. All right, but just make sure that we're eating healthy foods, even if we're eating them at night. We know nutrient timing and things like that isn't as big of a deal through numerous studies that are coming out. So just make sure if you are eating at night, make sure it's healthy foods. If you are a little bit more prone to indigestion and heartburn, maybe if it's affecting your sleep a little bit, try to avoid that late night eating if you can. Yeah, sugar is a drug if you can use all your willpower to avoid the first bite. Absolutely, Turbine. When we were talking on our last stream, not our last one, but one of the last ones on sugar and how its negative effects on the brain and the body, we saw that sugar has tons of addictive qualities. All right, we have a response in the brain. It's a sugar reward response. All right, similar to many different drugs. right? And the sad thing is, the more sugar that we eat, the more the brain wants, the more the body wants, right? We get that response. We get that feel-good response. The sad thing is it's only temporary. So the next thing is, all right, what do we have if we start losing that good feeling? We want more sugar. All right, so there's that sugar reward system already built into the brain. It's very addictive. All right, just think about if you're trying to get off sugar, you're gonna have a pretty tough time. All right, same thing with caffeine. Right, you're gonna go through some of those we can call them withdrawal symptoms, to be honest. But you're right. I'm not a huge fan of sugar. I try to stay away from sodium and sugar as often as possible. Obviously, one, it's devoid of nutrients, but they just make me feel horrible. They zap me of my energy. I feel dehydrated every time I have either sodium or sugar, super dehydrated. But the biggest thing, all right, zaps me of my energy, and I just feel horrible the next day. So I hope that helps with some of the lifestyle changes that we can make, because, you know, as we pointed out here, guys, if we're not making these lifestyle changes, these foods, which we're going to get into right now, I have a few foods, quite a bit. So we'll go through each one by one. If we're not changing our lifestyle, right, adding in these foods aren't going to have a very big positive effect on digestive health and on gut health. We want to make sure we're doing both. Again, exercise regularly, cut sugar out, all of those different things, making sure that we're drinking enough water. All right, water is very underrated when it comes to our overall health, guys. As you can see, making sure that we're not chronically dehydrated. Again, thank you so much for the support. I see the thumbs up going up and up. I'm not a huge fan of I'll be honest, of this new sort of change to YouTube. You can only see the thumbs up. Not that I want any dislikes, but for some reason you can only see the thumbs up. That's kind of an interesting change that I just saw and noticed from YouTube. But thank you so much, guys, for the thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. I thought it quite interesting that it seems like the dislikes are, and again, it's not like I'm asking for dislikes or anything like that, but it's kind of hidden here, kind of interesting. Don't know if you guys noticed that as well. But let's talk about some of the foods, all right? First, let's talk about prebiotics, because I think that's one of the more overlooked foods, all right, and food groups that are going to help improve digestion and overall gut health, all right, because we want prebiotics. We want both prebiotics and probiotics, and we'll talk about the probiotics after. But what are some good prebiotics? One, we know prebiotics, which ones we should eat, all right, we'll talk about. But prebiotics, they're a form of dietary fiber, right? And the reason why we want prebiotics is because they're going to act as a sort of food source for healthy bacteria in the gut. So we want those prebiotics just like we want probiotics. It's going to allow the good bacteria in the gut to thrive. And if we're doing that, that's going to help only improve overall gut health, but also improve digestion and the functioning of the digestive system. So what are some good prebiotics? Well, I'd say some of the easier ones would be, all right, because you can have tons of things on this list, but the easiest ones that we can find are garlic. All right, a lot of people aren't aware, but garlic is a nice prebiotic. All right, garlic and onions coming from the same family. All right, garlic, very, very easy to add to our diet. Tons of health benefits, one of them being digestive health and increasing overall gut health. We've already talked about its, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory benefits, and especially its heart health benefits, but it can help. The nice thing about garlic as a prebiotic is it can promote the growth of good bacteria in the gut. All right. Also, the nice thing about garlic, it has antibacterial effects, so it can inhibit and sort of attack and reduce bad bacteria in the gut. Bad bacteria in the gut from growing, which these bad bacteria can promote different disease, like we already talked about irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, inflammatory bowel disease. It's going to help reduce the risk of some of those different diseases. Plus, it's going to reduce inflammation. All right, and remember, reducing inflammation is one of the important things if we're trying to improve our overall gut health, guys. So big one, prebiotic garlic. Very, very easy to add to our diet. All right, great anti-inflammatory properties. So again, it's going to help reduce that inflammatory bowel disease as well, all right, which is tremendous. Reduce some of those bigger kind of symptoms that you get from inflammatory bowel disease, one of which being, which we said, chronic constipation. Millions and millions, tens of millions of individuals of in the States. And again, it's not just the States, but those were the numbers that I was able to find the easiest. It was like 63 million, 65 million, maybe even more these days, dealing with chronic constipation. So good to hear, because I eat garlic most days. Very nice, Morgan. Yeah, I think garlic, again, very underrated. So many different health benefits. You can add it to, some people aren't a fan of garlic and so they stay away from it. You can have a garlic supplement. It's the same thing. Whenever they do these studies, they usually do it with raw garlic and also garlic supplements. You're absolutely right, Tammy. Garlic is one of the best things for overall heart health. Right, blood pressure, it's great. Sulfur compounds, allicin in there, antioxidants, tremendous for overall heart health. Right, and also tremendous for overall gut health as well. So garlic and onions, right? We know with onions, very similar to garlic. All right, onions are going to help strengthen gut flora. All right, boost immune system. All right, which is very, very important. Right, so not only are garlic and onions are important for our overall health, going to be important for overall gut health, and the reason why their biggest thing, all right, is going to be increasing good bacteria and increasing that good gut flora in the digestive tract and in the gut. All right, and that's only going to bring with it, positives for our overall digestion and overall gut health. I mean, if we're doing that, we're increasing nutrient uptake from the healthy foods we eat. We're going to be reducing constipation. We're going to be improving regularity. Right? We're going to be taking away some of the abdominal pain, which is a huge issue in today's society. Abdominal pain, guys. We know millions of individuals in the United States and Canada, that's where we found the numbers, are dealing with abdominal pain, all right, on a day-to-day basis, all right, which we just want to stay away from. Okay, let me just make sure that I'm not missing anything. Leeks, very good. Okay, so interesting question on leeks here, Morgan. All right, do leeks have the same effect on spring onions? Well, leeks are very good prebiotic. Leeks are very, very similar. They come from the same, and it's interesting that you ask. I believe leeks come from the same family as onions and garlic as well, so they're going to bring similar benefits, all right, health benefits relating to the digestive system. Again, they have, I think, with leeks, they have a certain compound. I can't remember if it's called, I believe it's called inulin. All right, inulin or inulin, all right, but they have a compound, all right, inulin, I believe, all right, a compound that one is going to promote healthy gut bacteria, all right, and again, all three of these are going to help break down fat, which is important, all right. Remember, we said healthy fats, all right, is something that we're going to want to add to our diet if we're wanting to increase digestion and increase good gut health. But leeks are very good as well because they're going to help to promote healthy gut bacteria, all right, and that's usually due to a compound inulin, all right, found in leeks, all right, and it's not found in very many other foods, so leeks are kind of special in that nature, all right. So leeks, absolutely very nice food for improving digestion and especially for overall gut health and good gut bacteria. So leeks are a nice one as well, again coming from the same family as garlic and onion, so very similar benefits there, guys. So great question, Morgan. Thank you so much. This is why I like when you guys ask questions. You'll bring up foods, all right, that I didn't necessarily have on my list, but then I can bring up and talk a little bit about. You're very welcome, Morgan. My pleasure. Plus, with these, you're going to have some good fiber as well, and good fiber is only going to help with overall digestion, all right, increased digestion. We want that. It's adding bulk, which is going to improve regularity, reduce constipation. So very nice. Now some other ones which we might not think too much of as a good prebiotic. I'll give you one more because we've already gone through garlic, onions, leeks. All right, one that's often, all right, overlooked, all right, is oats. All right, whole oats. This is why I'm such a huge fan. Everyone always says foods for health, foods for health. You're such a fan of oats. Why? They always come up. Well, oats and whole grains, all right, not all whole grains, but oats in general, all right, are going to be good, all right, as a prebiotic, all right. And the reason being, all right, I like the other ones a little bit more than sort of oats as a prebiotic, just because it's so much easier and you don't have to eat a ton of it. But healthy Whole oats, again, remember, we want whole oats. We don't want the refined stuff with all the sugar added to it. Of course, that's not going to be a good prebiotic. But healthy whole oats are a great prebiotic, guys. One, because they contain great amounts of fiber. All right, and we know that from different talks that we've had, they contain beta-glucan fiber, all right, as well as some resistant starch. That's why you can kind of throw bananas into this section as well. You just need to make sure that they're unripe bananas. All right, resistant starch is not going to be in the bananas where you're having black spots on them or those brown spots, sort of the very ripe bananas. That resistant starch is going to be more in the greenish bananas. You're going to get good pectin fiber and also that resistant starch. So whole oats, we know that beta-glucan, one, through numerous studies, improve, all right, healthy gut bacteria. All right, slow down digestion, but health, what we're speaking about today, healthy gut bacteria is going to be increased. Remember, these fibers and resistant starch especially, all right, beta-glucan, all right, which is a type of soluble fiber, guys. These healthy fibers, all right, and again, for healthy digestion, all right, and healthy gut health, we need fiber in our diet. That's one of the major things we need to have, all right, but beta-glucan is a type of soluble fiber, all right, which is very, very important for, one, acting as a food source for good bacteria in the gut, which is going to help good bacteria in the gut to thrive. All right, so that's why I like whole oats. That's why they're included in this list. You can also add bananas. Again, everyone always says, they say I love whole oats, and they always think that I'm not a huge fan of bananas. But, you know, if you're having more of those unripe bananas, if you're keeping it to about one a day, big fan of that as well, because you're going to get good pectin fiber, or you're going to get resistant starch if it's a little bit more on the unripe side. Am I saying to take the greenest bananas that you can find and eat those? Absolutely not. It's not going to be very tasty. Maybe if you're adding them to a smoothie or something along those lines, but a little bit more on the unripe side. That's where you're going to get good gut bacteria thriving from those resistant starches and from the beta-glucan and soluble fibers. Thank you so much for the 25 thumbs up, guys. Every time I look, it's just going up and up. Thank you so much for the support. I really, really appreciate it. We've been going for almost an hour here, all right? We're getting into the foods. We've gone over the lifestyle changes. We've gone over some of the diseases that people are dealing with, all right, that are, you know, just really an epidemic of digestive-related ailments, inflammatory bowel disease, all right, irritable bowel disease, chronic constipation, leaky gut syndrome. Tens of millions of individuals are dealing with that on a day-to-day basis, guys. So that's why this is so important. Now we're talking about the importance of prebiotics. Again, what I think one of the most overlooked sort of food groups when it comes to our overall gut health. We always hear about probiotics, but we don't hear too much about prebiotics. All right? Garlic, onions, leeks, oats, bananas to a certain extent if they're a little bit more unripe. I think those are a good one. Lastly, you know, another good prebiotic that someone might overlook is asparagus. All right, nice. Again, it has that inulin. All right, inulin, which we were talking about leeks. Very, very hard to find in certain foods. All right, inulin is going to, again, improve digestive health and help you know, it's a type of soluble fiber so again, these foods, and this is the whole point of a prebiotic and a probiotic, is to improve overall gut health. So that's why it's important. We're getting this inulin, all right, just like we were getting beta-glucan, both soluble, both soluble fibers, which are going to feed good bacteria in the gut, so improving our overall gut health. And by improving overall gut health, we improve overall digestion as well. So very, very nice. I like asparagus. Again, often overlooked, but it's a great source of prebiotics. You're not going to get inulin found in very many foods, all right? But if we can increase soluble fiber, we're only doing ourselves a benefit for increasing overall gut health, increasing the function of the digestive system, and having healthy digestion. So Again, thank you so much for the thumbs up, guys. I really do appreciate it. I'll also just point out how long we've been going for. You guys, thank you so much, everyone who's been joining. All right, it's been very, very early where I am. I know where you guys are as well. Very, very early. You guys are coming in, starting your Wednesday with a healthy discussion of digestion and gut health. I really do appreciate it. A little bit later for some of our individuals listening. All right, I'll just quickly say thank you so much for the support by giving the thumbs up. Thank you so much for the support through your comments. Again, really, really helps with the channel. Those thumbs up, the comments. Thank you very much. Again, we've added the join button feature if you want to become a member, right, of the channel. That's a great way to support the channel. There's different tiers. Once you click that join button, that's greatly appreciated. If you're finding great value in these chats and in these daily videos, we've been going strong with 2 live chats a week, 5 hours a week here. All right, you can become a member of the channel. All right, and then we're just going to keep going with these live streams. We're going to keep doing daily videos. So joining as a member would be greatly appreciated if you can. All right, also the super chat function is one way to give back, all right, to the channel. All right, one way to support the channel. I know you guys have been very generous with your joining as a member and the super chat function. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Those are the 2 best ways to support the channel, through the join function, becoming a member, different perks for different tiers. We have ebooks that are coming out. We're going to do a face reveal. I have a bunch of different programs that I want to put out for you guys, and that's going to be made possible by joining as a member, all right, and through the super chat function. Just going to give me more time, all right, and support to be able to do that for you guys and give you guys more value. So I thought I'd just answer that and just say that very quickly as we are passing an hour into this live stream. So thank you very much, guys. If you can join as a member, all right, you get those extra perks, get those ebooks. All right, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And again, feel free to send me a message on my business email. It's already been put in chat, right, and we can talk more from there. Thanks, Bless. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming in. Really appreciate having you in here. All right, thank you very much for your engagement. I really do appreciate it. All right, guys, so we talked about a little bit about that join function, becoming a member. Thank you to all my members. Big shout out to everyone who's a member, all right, and everyone who's supported through the super chat function. Again, I really appreciate you all, and for liking the channel, and for engaging and watching the videos. All right, thank you so much, guys. Let's continue on with some of the foods that are going to help support overall digestion and support overall gut health. All right, that's what we're here for. All right, so some foods, again, that are going to help to improve digestion. And again, we talked about prebiotics. We're going to talk a little bit more about probiotics. This is going to be included in these foods. All right. But some, and again, superfoods, yes. But there's a lot of foods that, it doesn't have to be a superfood. All right. There's a lot of foods out there, some superfoods, that are going to help with digestion. All right. One of the ones that I liked, and we kind of brought up a little bit before, but fish oil, all right, healthy fats are going to be great for digestion. It's very, very underrated, all right. A lot of people will overlook, all right, they'll think fiber, all right. They'll think of, some whole grains and things of that nature, but improving healthy fats, all right, and especially when we talk about healthy fats, fish oil. And the reason why fish oil is a big one, all right, is because you get those omega-3 fatty acids. All right, we need that good ratio of omega-3s to omega-6s and then even to omega-9s. Very easy to get those polyunsaturated fats, guys, omega-6s. But we need to make sure if we want to live not only a healthy lifestyle, but if we want to improve digestion and gut health, we want those omega-3s. All right, fish oil is an easy way to do that. Another way that you can add those omega-3s, fatty fish like salmon. All right, mackerel is a huge one. All right, I'm learning more and more about mackerel and its benefits. Excuse me there, guys. On a day-by-day basis, it's often overlooked as a fatty fish. Everyone always thinks salmon. They'll think tuna as well, but there's not a ton of omega-3s in tuna. Your biggest ones are going to be salmon, mackerel, and sardines. If you're not a fan of any of those foods, salmon would probably be the most popular. You can just take it as a fish oil. A lot of people will think fish oil is one of the more expensive supplements. It can be, but you don't need a ton of fish oil. the thing is, for my fish oil, when I take it as a supplement, guys, I take only a teaspoon every single day. If you throw it in with some walnuts, you're going to be getting tons of omega-3s. So a fish oil is a nice way to get that in, fish oil supplement, but you can also get it in through walnuts. That's a plant-based omega-3. All right, I think that's a nice, easy way. The reason why I like the fish oils as well, fish oil, all right, again, you don't need a ton. You can make it last, all right. Mine lasts for a month. Just keep it in the fridge. Have a teaspoon every single day. Within that teaspoon, I'm getting 5 grams of healthy fat fish oil from, a bunch of fatty fish sources. But the other nice thing, not only am I getting omega-3s, and not only will you get omega-3s, but you're also getting that healthy EPA and DHA, all right, healthy fats, all right, and I think that's important as well. So for omega-3s, the reason why we want to add omega-3s to our diet, all right, huge benefits when it comes to digestive health that we're talking about today, all right, and we see this through a number of different studies, all right. One of the big ones, all right, we know, all right, from different research, like salmon, fatty fish, mackerel, sardines, fish oil, all right, great for digestion, all right, and one of the biggest things through this research that's coming out is it can help reduce not only the symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome, which again, we have tens of millions of individuals just in the United States alone dealing with the symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome on a day-by-day basis, a lot of that having to do just with stress alone, also with inflammation and eating inflammatory foods, but we know, all right, that irritable bowel syndrome, the symptoms, but the risk of developing irritable bowel syndrome is going to be reduced by consuming omega-3 fatty acids. All right, there's a very eye-opening study that showed individuals who were eating omega-3 fatty acids, all right, compared to those people who weren't, had a lower incidence of actually having irritable bowel syndrome and then also its symptoms. So I think omega-3 fatty acids, great one, all right? Great one, not only for improving overall digestion, but gut health and improving and reducing certain digestive and gut ailments. One of the biggest ones being irritable bowel syndrome. But if we're talking about irritable bowel syndrome as well, we're also talking about a reduction in inflammatory bowel disease. And that's where we're really kind of getting off where things are just going haywire, all right, especially with today's diet, all right, and again, not just in the United States, the global diet, all right, a lot of the foods that we're eating are creating inflammation in the body. We have more inflammation foods, again, that's due to sugary foods, more sugar in our diet, high fructose corn syrup, frozen foods, fast foods, things of that nature. It's just wreaking havoc on the digestive system because we're getting more and more inflammation. But if we're talking about irritable bowel syndrome, we're also getting a decrease in inflammatory bowel disease, which we already know 65 million individuals in the United States dealing with some sort of inflammatory bowel disease or its symptoms. All right, so omega-3s, guys. Think salmon, think mackerel, think maybe fish oil, things of that nature. Omega-3s is a huge one. All right, so add those omega-3s if we can. All right, now another important one, all right, that we already talked a little bit about water. All right, now why water? If you're drinking fluids, remember we're talking about uncaffeinated, not caffeinated. Nothing wrong with drinking caffeinated drinks. All right, again, keep it in moderation. I'm having my cup of coffee right now, and keeping it black, no sugar added or anything like that. All right, but we see that fluids play an essential role. We know that fiber is important. We've talked a great deal of soluble fiber and fiber being added to our diet to increase and improve gut health and digestive health. But fluids play a very important role with fiber and getting those solids through the system. All right, that's only going to ease digestion, all right, by staying hydrated. And we know individuals are chronically dehydrated. Water is going to help speed up the digestive process, which again is going to give us digestive related benefits and gut health related benefits. All right. Again, be careful with caffeinated drinks. You're not going to get those benefits, and you're probably going to get, more acid reflux or heartburn from that. All right. That's why a lot of people can't drink coffee, all right, because it creates heartburn, all right, at least coffee with caffeine in it, so non decaffeinated coffee, and it's also going to create fluid loss. All right, that's why I said whenever I drink coffee, I'll drink 2 glasses of water with it. So water's a big one. It can't be overlooked. So many individuals are chronically dehydrated these days, guys. You'd be surprised at the numbers. I haven't found the exact numbers of individuals who are chronically dehydrated, but I've worked with hundreds of clients. Pretty much every single individual that I've done a consultation with, I'd say 90% are on that chronically dehydrated scale. All right, chronically dehydrated. Sometimes they'll show up to workouts without any water and we'll be going for an hour, all right, and we're sweating. All right, sometimes we'll be doing just a nutritional consultation. It'll be the middle of the day and they've only had 1 glass of water or no water, all right, which again, not good for our overall health, energy, but definitely not good for the digestive system and for overall gut health. Okay, so again, try to get those fluids in there. It's a great 1-2 punch with increasing our fiber. Okay, now again, we're talking about foods, and let's really get a deep dive here. All right, we're putting ourselves at sort of risk of severe digestive issues by not having some of these foods in our diet. We talked about prebiotics, we talked about healthy fats like omega-3s, and we talked about increasing fluids. Sonia, good morning. Great to see you. Some mistake hunger for thirst. Absolutely, Morgan. Happens a ton, especially late night. That's why you get a lot of late night snacking. You'll get a lot of late night snacking just because they're not drinking enough water throughout the day, and they're eating sugary or frozen foods which are high in sodium. So they'll mistake hunger for thirst. You're absolutely right. Sonia, big shout out to Sonia. Good morning to you, Sonia. You can see the badge there. Sonia is one of the members of the channel. Thank you so much, Sonia. I appreciate your support. Always like giving a shout out to my members. So thank you so much, Sonia. Great to have you in here. Let me see your comment here. Good morning to you as well. What brand of coffee do I drink? All right, that's an excellent question. All right, a lot of people will talk about, certain types of coffees. It was almost like 3 to 5 years ago where, certain coffees were looked at as being healthy coffees. I forget the exact name. I'm trying to remember it. It was the one that had MCT oil and butter into it. If anyone can remember the name of it, that'd be greatly appreciated. Sometimes adding coconut oil. I'm literally just drinking Starbucks coffee right now, Sonia. Starbucks coffee, all right, through a K-cup. It's very, very simple. I'll have 1 to 2 a day, all right, on the smaller side. Nothing special, all right. I drink it black, all right, so I don't add anything to it. If you're going to add anything to it, 2% milk is probably one of the better things. I would try to stay away from skim milk if you can, because remember, that's just going to have more sugars, all right, milk sugars in it. 2% is more easily digested, all right. So the brand, I wish I could give you something exciting, but it's literally just Starbucks coffee, and it can be there's a bunch of different ones. Sometimes if some go on sale, all right, I'll have those. But with healthy coffees and things like that, I try not to stress too much about it. I try to just enjoy my morning coffee as much as I can. Bullet coffee. I thought that's what it was. You're exactly right, Morgan. Bullet coffee. Boom, you nailed it right on the head. But that was very, very popular a few years ago. You don't see it as popular as it was. I think just drinking regular coffee. The thing that I like about this, Sonia, is 1, 0 calories. All right, so there's no calories in this. All right, I like having a little bit of caffeine in the morning. All right, it can fuel my workouts and things like that. But again, nothing special. Just your regular old black Starbucks coffee right now. And it'll kind of switch from time to time. It's not always Starbucks. Again, I just try to find it on sale. But yeah, those kind of healthy coffees and things like that were very, very popular like 5 years ago. Like I said, you don't see it as much right now. As long as you're not adding sugar, all right, and you're not adding a ton of cream. Sonia, I think you can relate to this. like Tim Hortons coffee up here in Canada, like double doubles and things like that. One of the worst starts, because one, you're getting that sugar, all right, and you're getting that high calorie cream, all right, but in high amounts, all right. The mix of that together, saturated fats, trans fats, sugar, that's going to wreak havoc on your digestive system as well. It's not a great start to the morning. Okay, and also it's not going to help good bacteria in the gut to thrive. Now, I will say this about coffee, just because we're on the subject. All right, if you're dealing with stress, because we talked about how stress can be one of the major, it can be sort of one of those lifestyle changes that we want to make, all right, in order to improve digestion and gut health. We saw the correlation of stress and increases in things like leaky gut syndrome, irritable bowel syndrome, diarrhea, constipation. If you're prone to stress, you might want to decrease your caffeine levels, especially in the morning. And the reason why I'm saying that is because right when you wake up, the hormone cortisol will be at its highest, and cortisol is your stress hormone. All right, so one of the worst things that you can do, all right, if we're trying to decrease stress, all right, is just take in caffeine. All right, it's going to just increase. It's just going to increase. Sometimes it can increase people who are more sensitive to caffeine. It can sort of increase that stress hormone just a little bit. How to get these expensive foods from Bangladesh. Bagchi, thank you so much for your question. Welcome to the chat. And thank you so much for the thumbs up, guys. 34 thumbs up. Thank you very much for your support. Bagchi, thank you so much for your question. So how to get these expensive foods from Bangladesh or to Bangladesh? If it's to Bangladesh, a lot of times, you can find healthy foods there. And a lot of these foods, we don't have to have super expensive foods. I know like the salmon and fish oil, all right, can be expensive. That's why I'm saying you only need 1 teaspoon a day. You spend a little bit on that fish oil, but you can make it last a month, all right? So if you're looking at that and you're comparing it to like a fast food or frozen foods or things like that, all right, you just trade one for the other, all right, and then you're saving money that way. All right, but even in Bangladesh, I'm sure you can get some healthy foods there as well. All right, and we're going to talk about some of the other ones that we talked. Water, inexpensive. All right, of course. All right, another one that we'll talk about. All right, ginger. All right, is going to be a nice one. All right, ginger is a good one here. All right, readily available all over the world. Bagchi. All right. Getting ginger root. All right, very, very nice for improving digestion and overall gut health. All right. It has a lot of compounds, and you guys might have heard of the benefits of ginger. I've done a lot of ginger videos where I've explained its digestive and its gut health benefits. The nice thing about ginger, all right, and it's a superfood, it's been proven to be a digestive aid, all right, used in a lot of Asian cuisines, traditional Asian recipes, Eastern parts of the world, all right. So Bagchi, I hope this one helps you. Ginger is found to be very inexpensive, all right, and you can make it last, all right. You can have one. You can just use the root. All you need to do is put even less than 1 inch of a piece of the root. Just make sure it's washed, all right, into water or into tea. Tea is a nice one, all right, and then just have your tea that way, and that's going to be great for improving overall gut health. Again, you can just drink it as a tea. Some people will kind of shave it into the tea. I've seen recipes before. Shave it finely, and then they'll just drink it at the end of the tea as well. I used to do that with cucumber water. It's not any different than if you're squeezing some lemon into water as well. It might sound weird to kind of think of drinking ginger or eating ginger, but you just want to make sure you're kind of chopping it up very, very fine, or you're shredding it and things of that nature. And then you can just ingest the ginger as well. Chew it before you digest it, though. Don't because that's a good one for digestive health and gut health. Make sure you chew your ginger as well, guys. Only going to improve digestion. Digestion starts with the chewing process. Keep that in mind, guys. If we want good digestion and good gut health, we need to make sure we're chewing all of these foods as well. It's an important point that I want to make also. So ginger, proven digestive aid. All right. 1, great for digestion. All right, a natural digestive aid. All right, again, you can have it in teas, there's supplements and everything like that. All right, but not only does it help with digestion, all right, and relieve nausea, stomach pain, abdominal pain, bloating, things of that nature, but it's also going to speed up the process of moving food through the small intestine, all right, and through the stomach, all right, which is very nice, okay, and that goes very well with pairing it up with things like fiber. All right, it's going to increase nutrient uptake. All right, very, very healthy. It's going to help allow good bacteria in the gut to thrive. So ginger's a very, very nice one for improving overall digestion and for improving overall gut health here, guys. And again, inexpensive. So bag chia, I hope that one helps you. And then we're going to go into some other foods here that are going to help with increasing digestion and improving overall gut health. A big one here, guys, right? And I'll have this very often, all right? And it's getting more and more popular, and I actually see it coming up in my chat more and more. And I actually just did a video on it yesterday, I believe. But the next one's going to be fennel. All right, fennel is very nice for the digestive system. It's very nice for overall gut health, all right? Again, just to be clear, I almost have a fennel tea every single day. All right, and it's not, the only ingredient isn't just fennel. It's thrown in there with a bunch of different ingredients. It's great for relaxation as well, but fennel is very nice for digestion and for overall gut health. Now, again, let's talk about why. All right, one, all right, if you're not drinking it as a tea, and let's say you're adding it to different recipes, all right, having it in that form is going to be a little bit better than a tea, but still, even as a tea, it's going to be just fine as well. All right, the one reason, all right, if you're not having it as a tea, because you lose some of the fiber, and that fiber found in fennel is one, going to help improve regularity, all right, in the digestive tract and prevent constipation. So two of the biggest digestive ailments, all right, and things that are going to affect gut health, all right, constipation, all right, and bloating, all right, so a decrease in regularity. Right, two of those biggest risk factors and two of the biggest sort of digestive related ailments are going to be taken away due to the fiber that's found in fennel. It has great fiber and also that soluble fiber, all right, which is very nice, and insoluble fiber also found in fennel. The other nice thing, all right, fennel is an antispasmodic, all right. So an antispasmodic, all right, what that means, and this is why you can get it through a tea as well. You don't have to have it sort of in its raw form, all right. It's going to help relax the muscles, all right, because, you know, through the digestive tract, all right, there's muscles as well. That's what pushes the food through the digestive tract, all right. It's going to help relax and soothe those muscles and help food move through the digestive tract, guys. Again, which is very important, because if we don't get that movement, all right, that's when we deal with symptoms of bloating. We don't want those nutrients just sitting in the small intestine and sitting in the digestive tract. We want that food moving, all right? That's when you start dealing with inflammation, constipation, all right? Non-regularity, things like that, all right? We want that food moving through the digestive tract. Fennel, all right, is an antispasmodic. It's only going to help move that food through the digestive tract. The other nice thing about fennel, all right, is it's going to reduce, all right, unwanted digestive ailments. All right, one, cramping. We already know that a huge amount of the population deals with abdominal pain. All right, so huge amounts dealing with abdominal pain. It's going to help reduce some of that. It's also going to reduce so bloating, cramping, all right, and it can also help, like we said, prevent constipation. So I think fennel is a very, very nice one. Sorry, I'm just going to post a quick little message here because I think my chat might have stalled here for a second. Give me 1 second, guys. So just make sure fennel is a very, very nice one. All right, fennel is a good one. All right, again, it goes with garlic, goes with onions, leeks. Fennel is a great one as well. Try. All right, let me catch up on. Is it true that eating cooled rice reduces the glycemic index? Apparently, once cooled, You can heat it up again without increasing the glycemic index. Never heard that try. Never heard a difference in cooling rice or anything like that. I think with rice, as long as we're having brown rice, basmati rice, jasmine rice, and things of that nature, I think the GI is just fine on those types of foods. All right? I don't think you have to, go through the process of cooling it or anything like that. I think as long as you're just having those good types of rice, staying away from white rice. I always say this, all right? You don't be scared of carbohydrates, but why have white rice, which is going to be higher in glycemic index and increase blood glucose levels? It's also going to be devoid of nutrients, all right, and fiber, so it goes right back to our digestion and gut health. Why choose that type of rice when we can choose the other types of rices that are going to be low on the glycemic index, not raise blood glucose levels, and give us tons of fiber, all right, and tons of nutrients? All right? There's just so many options when it comes to rice. I've never heard of anything. I've read about tons of rice, all right? Because think about it. If you cooled rice, it would work for any food. All right, why wouldn't it work for beans? Why wouldn't it work for oats or anything like that? You could be right. I just haven't heard anything or read anything about cooling rice to lower the glycemic index. And I'm trying to think even how that would happen at a biochemistry type of way. So I don't think we have to worry too much, Try. It's a great question. I think you just stick to your lower glycemic index type of rices, like your basmati, your brown rice, things of that nature. All right. And then again, heating it up, all right, probably won't have too much an effect on glycemic index because you're going to eat it warm. All right. Usually you eat brown rice warm. So I wouldn't worry too much about that, Try. It's a great question. I would just stick to the lower glycemic index rices rather than choose white rice and things of that nature. Hopefully that helped answer your question. Now, another one here, guys, that's going to be nice and that's very, healthy and nutritious, and it's going to help with digestive health big time. About cooling a potato. Let me look. So I can't really find anything, with the GI. You can sort of see like in food preparation. I don't see too much with like heating or anything like that. Like I said, you could be right. Blood glucose concentration significantly. Oh, so you could be right. So with the reheating, it could have an effect on how much blood glucose. And this is why I like your guys' comments. Just because I've never looked at, heating or reheating of certain foods. All right. And this is why it's important you guys bring this up. All right. Now, even just from that little study, all right, was it a huge effect? No, it wasn't, but there was. And you got to look at the way things are worded sometimes. I've read probably hundreds, if not thousands of studies. You got to look at the way it's worded. Could have effect on raising blood glucose level. Does that mean you want to do it every single time or you have to do it? Absolutely not. I think if once we start getting into the subject of, cooling rice or cooling potato or cooling some sort of carbohydrates and then reheating it, I think once we start getting into that type of thinking, it really kind of complicates things. All right, and we want to try to make it as simple as possible. Okay, if you're eating sweet potato right after you make it, all right, it's going to be a low GI. All right, it's going to be a low GI even after you reheat it. All right, it's still going to be lower GI. All right, it might have, like as we've just read, it might have an effect on increasing blood glucose level, but it's going to be very low. All right, it might not be even something that we need to even think too much about, but very interesting. I'll have to look more into that. Now let's think about some other foods here, guys. One big one here, all right, which I really like because it's an excellent form of fiber. All right, and thanks again for the questions, guys. I appreciate it. one big one here, one of the better foods that we can eat. And this is the thing, one thing I'll point out, that's the thing about nutrition. You can't know everything about nutrition. There's so many different studies and everything out there like that. It's like if you look at a doctor, all right, it's not like you have a doctor that's a cardiologist, an endocrinologist, a heart surgeon, and things like that. That's why it's important, you have these discussions because you learn something every day, all right? So thank you for pointing that out. I do appreciate it. Now, the next one, I'd say, if we want to improve digestive health and improve gut health, all right, chia seeds are great ones, guys. Not only are they high in fiber, they're an excellent source of fiber, all right, but we also know that they're very, very nutritious. But the important thing, and healthy fats, all right, good even in omega-3 fatty acids. We're going to find some omega-3 fatty acids in chia seeds, all right, which is important, and we already talked about the importance of omega-3 fatty acids. But not only that, we also know high in fiber, nutritious, but they work as a prebiotic as well, supporting good, healthy bacteria in the gut, contributing to healthy digestion, shown in multiple studies. We know that fiber can help reduce symptoms of constipation. We know chia seeds can promote regularity, all right, and things of that nature. We also know, and the reason why it's important to point out the nutrition of chia seeds, all right, we also know that's going to have anti-inflammatory effects, guys. So anti-inflammatory effects, there's nice antioxidants within chia seeds, all right. And that high nutrition is going to decrease inflammation. And that inflammation, again, wreaks havoc on the digestive tract. All right. So keep that in mind. Chia seeds, a nice healthy fat. Remember, we said we wanted to have healthy fats. Omega-3s probably being your most important. But things like chia seeds, also important. Great source of fiber. Great prebiotic. All right. Remember, it's easy to add those probiotics, but we want to start thinking about prebiotics as well. And then we also know that chia seeds are going to help good bacteria in the gut to thrive, helping good, healthy digestion. All right. And then again, just reducing those digestive ailments, which we've gone at length of talking about. Inflammatory bowel disease, irritable bowel syndrome, biggest one, constipation, which we know 65. Pretty soon, almost, we're on the way, literally, to 100 million people dealing with constipation. I mean, can you believe that? Yeah, don't eat your chia pet. Chia seeds, Michelle. Chia seeds, no chia pet. I don't think there's very much fiber, nutrition, or anything with the chia pet. Welcome to the chat, by the way. So make sure if you want to get good prebiotics, increase digestive health, chia seeds are a good one here, guys. Now, one that might be a little bit, because I don't want to just jump right into the probiotics. Those ones are easy. But another nice one and it's very, very popular. All right, some of my most popular videos are on this. But beets are also great for improving digestion and gut health. All right, beets I would consider beets to be a superfood. All right, to be honest with you. Beets are tremendous. All right, they have tons of different compounds, healthy nitrates. A lot of people, there's a difference between like lunch meats or processed meats. The nitrates found in there, which we want to stay away from. We don't want those in our diets at all. But healthy nitrates in beets. All right. So beets are a great source of fiber. In 1 cup, you're getting almost 4 grams of fiber, which is awesome for digestion. Remember, fiber bypasses through the digestive tract and heads straight to the colon. Once we get there, all right, we're feeding good, healthy bacteria in the gut and within the digestive tract. Remember, we don't want to just feed healthy gut bacteria just in the gut. It's throughout the whole digestive tract. All right. So beets, very, very nice. And we also see that the compounds in beets, all right, not only is it improving gut health, all right, very, very important because it has that nice fiber in it, but we also see the healthy compounds. You take all those antioxidants. Remember, beets have anthocyanin antioxidants, all right, a tremendous and potent antioxidant, which is going to reduce inflammation. And we've already talked about this at length, but inflammatory bowel disease, one of the more common. Same thing with irritable bowel syndrome, diverticulitis, colitis, all those autoimmune diseases. All right, we want to reduce inflammation throughout the digestive tract. All right, beets are super high in antioxidants, which are going to, again, reduce free radicals, oxidative stress, helping to reduce inflammation, and again, through that process, helping to reduce chronic diseases. And through all of that, as we've seen in in studies, even by increasing good bacteria in the gut, improving overall digestion, guys. So beets, I think, great superfood once it comes to digestion. Super high in fiber, great in reducing inflammation, great in reducing digestive related ailments, and improving digestion overall. You can add them to your diet a number of different ways. I like adding them in smoothies. I think that's the easiest. Boiling them, cutting them up, and then adding them to smoothies. Surely I can't be the only one who thinks brown rice tastes like wood splinters. Would it be better to simply eat the white rice with some veggies, like stir fry or something? Well, there's a ton of different rices other than brown. Try. Maybe you might like jasmine rice or basmati rice or anything like that. I think if you're looking at like, let's say you want to have white rice. A good thing that you would like to do, of course, have some veggies with it, because then you're getting the nutrients from it. If you want to also, if you're very cognizant of GI and things like that, pair it up with some sort of protein and fiber. So a lean protein, fiber, and then also some healthy fat as well, because that's going to bring down and slow down the digestive process. All right, and if we're slowing down the digestive process, we're not going to get such a big spike in blood glucose levels. Again, we got to choose and pick our battles here. All right, white rice, all right, at the end of the day, all right, is going to be better than, say, soda or, just having sugar and things of that nature. But, with brown rice, it just depends, right? You can throw brown rice in the stir fry, right, and it can taste pretty good as well, right? But if you haven't tried some of those other rices, there's just so many. Black rice, jasmine rice, basmati rice, all right, even sticky rice and things of that nature. All right, so many different choices. All right, maybe give that a try. But if you are going to go, let's say you have to have white rice, all right, of course, pair that up with veggies, all right, try to have a lean protein with it. All right, and then also, see if you can throw some healthy fats in there just to try to slow down the absorption of it. Again, pick your battles. Is white rice going to be the worst thing in the world? Absolutely not. The only reason why I say with white rice, you have so many other rice varieties. Beets are good simply with a salad and apple vinegar. Yes, with a salad, absolutely. I mean, you can have them with a salad. You can throw them in with a salad. Again, for me, it's just easiest to make a whole bunch and then put them into a smoothie. Those are probably the two most popular ways, I'll be honest, Morgan. So in a salad, also kind of in like a root vegetable medley sort of type of recipe, where I'll throw in sort of like beets, sweet potatoes, red potatoes, things like that. I kind of like that as well. But I find the smoothie to be the easiest, and I also think it adds a nice flavor to the smoothie as well. But you're 100% right. Nice in a salad, nice and simple, and then you're getting the nice benefits of beets. All right. So another nice one. All right. We've already talked about ginger. Green vegetables, guys. All right. Now, green vegetables, the ones that we're talking about here, spinach, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, other leafy green vegetables. You guys know I'm a huge fan of dark green, leafy green vegetables. All right. Day-to-day basis, broccoli, kale, spinach in my diet pretty much every single day. At least one of those will be in my diet. Probably at least two of those are in my diet every single day. I'm one of the lucky people that enjoys raw broccoli. So I can just have raw broccoli on its own and have no problem with that. The other nice thing is if you're creating a smoothie, all right, tons of kale and tons of spinach going into that. If you're having a salad, you can just easily throw spinach in there as well. I think that works out nicely, and you can throw some kale in there also. All right, so very easy to add those types of dark leafy green vegetables. Brussels sprouts, of course, not everyone's favorite, but again, dark leafy green vegetables, excellent source of insoluble fiber. You guys see fiber come up all the time. If we want to improve digestive health, we have to have fiber in our diet. Same thing with gut health, because for good bacteria to thrive and grow within the digestive tract, all right, we need that insoluble fiber that's going to add as a food source and allow good bacteria in the gut to thrive. You need to create that environment that allows them to thrive in there. By having sugar and processed foods and things like that, you're just doing the opposite. So green vegetables, dark leafy green vegetables, another nice thing. All right, we talked about mild laxative effects. Green vegetables will give you a little bit of mild natural laxative effects since they're high in magnesium. Anything that kind of is a little bit higher in magnesium, it's going to help to relieve constipation. Also going to help with those, remember we said antispasmodic, sorry. So it's going to help move food through the digestive tract, through the gastrointestinal tract. All right, which again is going to help improve digestion and improve gut health, and also increase nutrient uptake. So very, very important. All right, we need those dark leafy green vegetables. All right, they're going to help aid digestion. All right, help reduce bad bacteria in the gut, increase good bacteria in the gut. And by doing that, we're just increasing, all right, overall digestive health, all right, and overall gut health, guys. It is a nice recipe, Morgan. Yeah, it's a nice one. If you can find, you can also add some nice spices to it. Cumin's a nice one. You can even add turmeric to it if you like, and that's just gonna, increase its overall health value also. I like those root vegetables. I'm a huge fan. Red potatoes, sweet potatoes, huge fan. Sweet potatoes are good for digestion as well, guys. Also for gut health. Tremendous fiber, huge amounts of antioxidants. Vitamin B is a great one. Beta carotene. So great amounts in there. Sweet potato is just tremendous. Now let's talk a little bit about some of our maybe for the probiotics. One of the best ones for probiotics and easiest one, if we're not taking a probiotic supplement, guys, is going to be something like yogurt. We just need to make sure that we have active bacterial cultures within that yogurt. Okay, that's the important thing, because that's how you're going to get your probiotics. If it doesn't have that, you're missing out on the probiotics. So probiotics, yogurt is probably one of the easiest ones. All right, one of the easiest ones. Remember, all right, it's fermented, so that's going to be nice for probiotics as well. It contains that nice, good, healthy bacteria. All right, it's going to live within the digestive tract, improve digestion, and keep the gut healthy. We see that in numerous studies, guys. So yogurt's a nice one as a probiotic. If you're not taking a probiotic supplement, see if you can get that yogurt into your diet. And it can be, a number of different yogurts. A lot of people will choose for the plain. That's probably one of your best ones. A lot of people will go for Greek yogurt. I have another one right now that I'm enjoying. It's funny, I always forget how it's pronounced. I think it's, you guys might know, Skyr or Skyr. I only just started eating it. I'll post it in the chat, Skyr. All right, very, very nice. I love the consistency of it. It's a little bit thicker than Greek yogurt. It's Icelandic yogurt. Nice probiotics in that. I think it tastes great. And I'll add walnuts to it, so I get some omega-3s to it as well. Also blueberries, good fiber, good anthocyanin antioxidants, good anti-inflammatories, all healthy for the digestive tract and for gut health. All right, so yogurt's a nice one. So that's really healthy. And the reason why I like that is because I like the breakdown of protein. All right, I'm getting a little bit more protein probably than the average person, so I like that meal. All right, you got your yogurt, you got your walnuts, and you got your blueberries in there, all right, which is very nice. That's going to help improve overall digestion and overall gut health, help that good bacteria to thrive. All right, so great probiotic. All right, we know probiotics, guys. And again, yogurt's like the most common, but you can have Greek yogurt. You can have, again, the one that I have. Just make sure you're having yogurt that doesn't have any sugar added to it. I know that's everyone's favorite. All right, I know it's like the go-to for a lot of people, but we need to make sure that we're not having any sugar added to the yogurt, because then you're just undoing all the benefits of it. All right, all those probiotic benefits to it, all the digestion and gut health benefits if we have the added sugar. So make sure no sugar added. Try to keep it plain if you can. A little bit of flavor is fine as well. All right, a little bit of flavor is fine as well. What I'll do sometimes is I'll have like the Greek yogurt, and then I'll add low-calorie yogurt, no sugar added, very low in calories. I'll add a little bit of that for taste, and then you throw your blueberries. You could throw peanut butter in it if you want. Mix that up, and then boom, you got a nice recipe there. You get good gut health from that recipe also. Now, the nice thing about probiotics, any probiotics, all right, we know that boosting them through foods like yogurt, through a probiotic, all right, any type of probiotic is going to help ease digestion, which is very, very important for gut health and for our digestive tract functioning. We also know that probiotics are going to help deal with many, many digestive related ailments, especially the ones that we talked about. One of the biggest ones, again, I always like going to constipation because we know at some point, all right, we're on our way to almost 75 million Americans, all right, and Canadians and wherever we're looking, dealing with some sort of chronic constipation type symptoms, bloating, diarrhea, all of that different stuff. All right, so we know that probiotics can help with those digestive related ailments, inflammatory bowel disease, which is huge. All right, irritable bowel syndrome. All right, probiotics are great for relieving some of those issues, guys. Now remember, look for live and active cultures. Bacterial cultures will usually be added into that as well, because we know not all yogurt is going to contain probiotics. That's why I say don't go for the sugar added ones. Those are going to be highly processed. We want the active and live bacterial cultures in the yogurts that we're eating. If not, we're just not getting the probiotics. Susan, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Great to have you in chat. Always nice to have you in here. Morgan, I missed your comment. My friend swears by mushrooms for bowel movement. Interesting. Mushrooms mushrooms can have a lot of great benefits. I used to eat quite a few mushrooms, tons of different varieties, just like rice. All right, very, very good health benefits overall, even for digestion. So yeah, even with mushrooms, again, there's a lot that like you can even put that in the vegetable category. Now, another nice one, especially for staying on our sort of probiotics, sauerkraut is a big one. I know not everyone is a fan of sauerkraut, but it's a great probiotic, guys. One of the best, to be honest. All right, we already know, I think in one of the research papers that I wrote down here, all right, it's from fermented cabbage, all right, with lactic acid, which is very, very nice. Due to the fermentation, all right, that's where we get the probiotics from. So that's why sauerkraut is so nice. We also know, all right, and through studies, the ones that I was finding, multiple studies, all right, sauerkraut can have up to almost 30 distinct bacterial strains. So almost 30 distinct probiotic strains. That's going to help create great gut health. All right, and that's why I love sauerkraut as a probiotic. All right, we also know that sauerkraut has different enzymes that can help break down nutrients, which makes them more easily digestible, which is going to make them pass through that digestive tract quicker, all right, and easier. Kind of that antispasmodic effects, that spasmodic effect where it's pushing the food through the digestive tract. Very, very nice, increasing nutrient uptake in the process as well. All right, so I really like sauerkraut as a probiotic. Same thing sort of with like your kimchi, all right, fermented cabbage as well. Very, very similar benefits, high concentration of probiotics. The other nice thing about kimchi, all right, because it is that fermented cabbage, and then even sometimes other fermented vegetables, so you get quite a bit of probiotics, great for good bacteria, as we've said, all right, throughout the digestive tract. Again, a lot of people will talk about just the gut or the colon, but it's good bacteria throughout the digestive tract. The nice thing also about kimchi is it has good amounts of fiber. Adding bulk promoting bowel health, so regularity, reducing constipation. Those are the big ones, guys. We know constipation is a huge issue in today's society. All right, tens of millions of individuals dealing with chronic constipation. So kimchi, sauerkraut, again, if you're not a fan of those types of foods, all right, I think the easiest one for most people is just getting yogurt, but make sure it has live active bacterial cultures in it. Stay away from the sugar added. I think that's the easiest one. If say you don't eat dairy or anything like that, then you just go with the probiotic supplement. All right, miso might be another good one for most people, but again, if you're not a fan of that, then you're going to have to just go with the probiotic supplement. And again, can be a little bit more on the expensive side. That's why, again, I sort of like sauerkraut and all those. But we got to get the probiotics in for improved digestion and improved gut health, guys. We have to get the probiotics and prebiotics in as well. Now, another good one, all right, is actually going to be beans. Beans are very important when it comes to overall gut health, guys. They cannot be overlooked. All right, and it's surprising, all right, it's surprising because they're off the list on some people. Some of the studies and some of the articles that you'll find, all right, but the thing is beans are super high in fiber, all right, which is very important. We want that fiber. All right, now how much fiber we want per day differs for individuals. Again, it depends on our weight, it depends on your size, how active we are, because it depends on weight and how many calories we need. Obviously, if we need fewer calories, we're going to get a little bit less fiber. All right, it also depends if we're dealing with digestive related ailments. All right, if we're dealing with constipation, then we know that that fiber might be a little bit low. But beans are great. All right, they're seen almost as essential for some individuals, all right, and some health practitioners for good digestion. Sometimes you'll see recommended sometimes 30 grams of fiber. That seems to be the average. Sometimes lower for women. But 30 is kind of like your go-to. 30 grams of fiber per day. I don't think you really need any much more than that. But 30 is kind of like your go-to. That's what you're aiming for. And beans, if you're having beans, all right, very, very easy to get that 30 grams of fiber. I mean, I think in something like one serving of beans, there's over 15. You're getting over half the amount of your daily fiber intake from just, one serving, which can be about a cup of beans. And again, it can be any beans: black beans, red kidney beans, pinto beans, navy beans, black-eyed peas are a nice one. All right, so again, that's going to help with digestion. It's going to act as food for good bacteria in the gut to thrive. All right, we need that fiber. And the nice thing about beans, it's going to help move food through the digestive tract. All right, we also know that it's not very high in fat, so it's not going to be a super high calorie source. It's going to be a nice complex carbohydrate for us and a nice protein alternative. So there's tons of great reasons to consume beans. All right, and one of the most important things is it's going to improve digestion and it's going to improve gut health. All right, that healthy fiber, both soluble and insoluble fiber, we should mention in beans, is going to help act as good bacteria, so help as food for good bacteria in the gut to thrive. Okay, thank you so much for the thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate it. 38, we're almost at 40. I think we're getting to 50 on the last one. So I really appreciate it, guys. The thumbs up have been tremendous. And again, don't be afraid to ask your questions. It's always great to have you guys in here, engaging, asking your questions, teaching me, bringing up things that's new to me. I always appreciate that. If you think you know everything, then you're missing out, because there's always something that you can learn. So by bringing something up to me that I haven't looked at, I haven't heard of, I always appreciate that as well. All right, it's one of the worst things is to think that you know everything about nutrition. It's just impossible. All right, I mean, that's why you see people break down different, have different specialties. Some people are breaking it down and specialize in ketogenic diets, some in intermittent fasting, some in vegan and vegetarian. It's very, very seldom that you'll find someone who specializes in a vegan diet who also specializes in a ketogenic diet. It just doesn't make much sense. It hardly happens. And then in intermittent fasting, very, very seldom. So I'm constantly researching, constantly trying to find out as much as possible. But again, you're not going to know everything. All right, and that's why I expect you guys to, would never expect you guys to know everything. That's why I try to put out as much information as I can, and then you take from it what you can, and then try to just add it into your daily life and try to be healthier that way. Again, if you think you know everything, then you're doing yourself a disservice, because then you're just not learning. It's preventing you from learning and from growing, and then in my case, from being able to help other people. All right, which is huge for me. That's the whole point of this channel. Now, just give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Literally 1 minute. Okay, and we're back. Thanks, guys. Thank you for your patience. Nice and quick. I think that was under a minute. Very nice. New knowledge is being revealed all the time. That's the thing as well, Morgan. New knowledge every single time. Like almost every month something will come out. There was just some interesting things on turmeric, which I was reading about. I think I might just do a video on turmeric and curcumin and things like that. So new knowledge coming out all the time on different foods, on different diets, on everything when it comes to nutrition. There's so many categories on digestion and gut health. Different things coming out every single day. One thing, guys, we talked about bananas. One other one that I want to point out while we're talking a little bit about fruit. All right, because fruit is sort of one of those topics where it's like how much fruit should we be having and what fruits? All right, I think blueberries, you see them right there on the screen. Blueberries are great. All right, are they the best for digestion? Well, they can be very helpful for digestion. They have good levels of fiber in them. They also have tons of nutrients. All right, I already talked about manganese and magnesium being helpful for digestion, being a mild natural laxative, but also helping food move through the digestive tract. But the other nice thing, thank you so much, guys, for the 40 thumbs up. Really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. The other nice thing about blueberries is they're great anti-inflammatories. All right, they have great anti-inflammatory properties, and that comes from their tremendous amounts of antioxidants, anthocyanin antioxidants, potent, powerful antioxidants that you won't find in many other foods. Quercetin, we can go on and on. That was the things like with fennel and cardamom spice, like you had chlorogenic acid, rosmarinic acid, ellagic acid, all of these different potent antioxidant compounds that you're not going to get from foods that aren't like superfoods or aren't healthy foods. That's why it's important to have these foods in your diet. It's a complex science which you're unpacking. Shared knowledge is the best type of knowledge. It's something you can give and receive. Exactly, Morgan. And nutrition is the best thing for that, I think. Even with working out, like doing workout programs, there's just so much knowledge when it comes to nutrition and to exercise, like exercise science and health science and all of that different stuff. That's why at the end of the day, I think if you're just keeping it simple, one thing, like, keep it simple, all right, but know, you know, you have to know the basics. The basics, all right, is you want some of these superfoods. If we're talking about digestion and gut health, we know the basics. Here's your basics, guys. Stay away from sugar, stay away from sodium, stay away from alcohol. All right, it's only going to hurt digestion. All right, the other basics are increase fiber. All right, so insoluble especially, but fiber as well. Have prebiotics, probiotics. That's all the foods that we've been talking about. Anti-inflammatory foods, water. All right, and even some spices and things like that, and herbs like ginger. Ginger is great. All right, very cost effective, easy to add to your diet. Dark leafy green vegetables. It's just about eating healthy and making sure that we're staying away from foods that are going to be causing inflammation, all right, foods that don't have very many nutrients, foods that are low in fiber. All right, nuts and seeds are a great one. Healthy fats, we talked about that. We need healthy fats in our diet. If we're devoid of healthy fats in the diet, all right, not only is digestion going to be affected, and gut health going to be affected negatively, all right? So you're going to see an increase in those digestive ailments that we've gone over at length. I don't need to mention them all. We've gone over like 8, all right? Not only are you going to be hurting yourself that way, all right, but just in a general health sense, all right, just with, heart health, just with, diabetes, there's tons of stuff, mood disorders, Alzheimer's, other chronic diseases, things of that nature. If we keep it simple, all right, that's a great start. I don't know if you guys want more scientific-based knowledge. The one thing that I will point out is we're probably about celery juice is good for the gut. Drink on an empty stomach. Well, celery juice, funny. Celery juice, that's funny you mentioned that, Susan. Celery juice, huge for cleanse, like for cleansing. Very, 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 very popular like 5 years ago. The nice thing with celery, drinking it on an empty stomach, I would just kind of do what you said. Like, just have celery juice. You have these green juices where they're just starting to throw everything into it. And this was really popular 5 years ago as well. I would just go with the celery juice. The celery juice is very nice. You have celery juice that's going to help, heal, all right, and sort of activate enzymes within the gut, all right. Help, again, you digest and move food through the digestive tract faster and more efficiently. So if you say more efficiently, all I mean is just you're increasing nutrient uptake. All right, helping with the breakdown of food. All right, increasing stomach acid. So again, that's how we have the breakdown here, especially of proteins. All right, it's going to help activate those enzymes and restore hydrochloric acid. All right, for digestion. So celery juice is a nice one. Again, I would just do celery juice. I don't think you see people adding in tons of different things, like a green apple, and that's fine because apples will give you some benefits with pectin and everything. But then you see everything from that to, lemon to 10 other different stuff. But if you can just stick with celery juice, I think that's fine for the gut as well. All right. Exactly, indigestion. Well, with all the things that I just mentioned, Susan, just like when you're mentioning, it's going to help with all of those. I mean, if you're getting food moving through the digestive tract, reducing inflammation, all right, you're going to see a decrease in indigestion, IBS, all right, bloating, of course, especially if we're getting an increase in hydrochloric acid, all right, and also digestive enzymes, all right, all of those things that you just listed are going to go up and up, all right, and we're going to reduce those digestive related ailments. I think celery juice is great, all right, just, again, we don't have to go crazy and make everything very, very complicated when it comes to creating these juices. And wow, we've been going for over 2 hours now. I hope you guys have been getting great value. I see 40 thumbs up there. Thank you so much for those thumbs up, guys. But that's, like I said, Wednesdays and Sundays. We're going long now. We're going 2-hour discussions here. Again, I'm not sure how many other channels are doing that, but these long, having good discussions, thorough discussions on these topics. All right. Some of my favorite discussions here. I love being able to talk one-on-one with you guys. if you can join as a member, all right, to give back to the channel, all right, because I know you guys are watching. I know you guys are leaving amazing comments, all right. Like I said, I've talked about this at length. I'll see videos, all right, where there'll be 102 thumbs up and 0 thumbs down. I think if you look at my percentages, it's like all the videos are 99% thumbs up, 98% thumbs up. So I know that you guys are finding great value in the videos, which I love. That's the whole point and the whole reason why I'm making them. You're thumbing up the videos, leaving those amazing comments, and watching the videos. I very, very, very much appreciate that. Again, another way to give back to the channel, you have my business email there, guys. Send me a message, all right? I check it every single day. People are asking questions, all right? They're talking about consultations. Sonia, you can feel free to message me. Sonia is a member of the channel. That's why Sonia had the badge there, all right? She joined as a member. Sonia, feel more than free to send me a message, okay? Especially as a member of the channel, all right? You get perks as a member. Remember, we talked a little bit about the join feature that's on there. You can join as a different member. There's different tiers where you get different perks. You know, if you can give back to the channel in that way, it's greatly appreciated as well, which just gives me more time to create more value for you guys, to create more content for you guys. Have these 2-hour plus live streams, put the research in to give you the value on these 2-hour plus live streams, and to do them 2 times a week. So if you can join as a member, all right, there's different tiers, you get different perks. All right, ebooks are coming out. It gives me time for those ebooks, as I already mentioned before. So the join button is a nice feature to give back to the channel if you're finding great value. Also through the super chat function, that's one way of giving back as well. All right, there's no thanks button or whatever. I don't know what other channels do. They have those buttons. We're just doing the join button at kind of joining as a member, and through the super chat function here on the channel during the live streams. And I really appreciate all your generosity and anything that you guys can give to give back to the channel. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate all the support and the thumbs up. But again, we added the join button and we added the super chat function, again, just so I can give more value. These 2-hour streams, again, it's 2 hours here live on the stream, but it's an hour of research and putting in all my studies together, just so I can come up with some of those foods for you guys. Same thing with the videos, all right? Daily videos. I hope you guys have been enjoying those. There's been videos going up every single day. I hope you guys are enjoying them. I'm enjoying making them for you guys, all right? So I appreciate your guys' generosity. I appreciate your guys' support, all right? And I appreciate, you guys coming in here and listening. So thank you so much. You guys got my business email, all right? Feel free to send a message. Morgan, I know that, send a message. Susan, all you guys, feel free. As long as we keep it nutrition based or exercise based, those are the ones where you'll get a response from me. Anything else, probably not. We're just going to keep it nutrition based and health based and exercise based. All right. But thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate the support. And again, anything that you can give back, all right, as a member through a super chat, also greatly appreciated. But I think we're going to end it there, guys. Remember, right now, all I want to point out is we are probably about 2 weeks away from a face reveal, where I'm going to be having my face on the channel. All right, probably during these live streams, maybe even during daily videos. Depends. I'm not 100% sure on how exactly we'll do it. There'll be a face reveal on the channel. I think that'll be nice. And then, I'm thinking of, sort of changing the format, not entirely, still doing the same amount of videos, the same video format, but then also going through some of the scientific breakdowns of some of the studies that we're having as well. All right, so just think that there's tons of different information that's going to be coming at you guys. Thank you for the thumbs up. There's going to be tons of different information, ebooks, daily videos, not only going over what you see now, all right, those types of daily videos, but going over more of the scientific studies, because I have so many that I go over and I want to simplify them for you. Because as we talked about a little bit from Morgan, all right, that scientific study that was very interesting on how we create, all right, and so the food processing, how we process our food, how that can affect blood glucose levels. Why not break that down? Simplify it. Very, very simple. Go over things like that. Like I said, there's a new turmeric study that came out. I think going over that would be great. You guys let me know if you want that. I can give it to you. All right. And it's something that I want to give to you and add value. Okay. I think I saw a question here from Jennifer. Let me make sure that I answer this. Is it true that celery juice is very salty? If it's just with celery, all right, in 1 cup of celery juice, it contains about just over 200 milligrams of sodium. Okay, that's a little less than 1/10 of the recommended daily intake of sodium. All right, so just be careful with how much you're having. Like a single cup, all right, you're getting a significant amount of sodium just from that celery juice. Because remember, all right, that's your juice. Think about all the other sodium you're getting from all the other foods. All right, so just be careful. Maybe like half a glass. Maybe if you're, getting a lot of sodium from other foods in there, I would just be a little bit more mindful of it. I think 1 cup, about 250 milliliters, if I'm not mistaken, has about 200 milligrams of sodium, maybe even just a little bit more. Not much more, but about 200 milligrams. This is the reason why I say just use the celery, because you're going to be getting sodium from other stuff as well. If you can use single ingredients, that's the best. All right, because we need to limit sodium for sure, especially for digestion and gut health. All right. We don't want any more than 2,300 milligrams. All right, at the very most, some people will say 25. I think 23. All right, so 2,300 milligrams. Again, 1 cup, you're getting almost 10% of your daily sodium. That's quite a bit if you're thinking about just celery juice, like a vegetable juice that's meant to cleanse, detox, give you a bunch of nutrients. All right, it's not crazy high. All right, just make sure you're keeping that in mind, Jennifer, or anyone else, if you're having celery juice. So I hope that answers your question. But we'll leave it there, guys. I don't want to talk your ear off. I feel like we could go all day. We're at 2 hours and 11 minutes here. I feel like I could go all day on these topics. It's so funny. Maybe I have the gift of gab. I don't know. Maybe it's because during work I just basically talk all day, and this is the stuff I talk about. So thank you so much for the thumbs up. I continue to see them going up. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm as well. So thank you so much for that support. Like I said, guys, we're in this for the long run. All right, I'll be here every Wednesday and Sunday. Sunday will be a nice one. And there's going to be a face reveal very, very soon. It'll happen before Christmas. So very soon with the face reveal, that's definitely coming. All right, that's something I'm looking forward to. I think that'll be interesting. And it's kind of interesting. I'm kind of looking forward to see, how you guys react to the face reveal as well. Not in the fact that it's my face, but just seeing the face sort of behind the voice that you've been hearing so often and for so long. So that should be very interesting. And I'd like to do that because I'd like to do the breakdown of some of the studies that we do, and even having some of these chats, like just sitting here and chatting with you guys, looking at chat right now. I think it would be very, very nice. Fascinating as always. Thank you for the time and effort you put into the channel. My pleasure, Morgan. Thank you for sticking. You've been here the whole time. All right, it doesn't go unnoticed, I will say. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys. Be on the lookout for that face reveal. I'm very excited for that. Also, 100 on the face reveal, there will be a 100,000 subscriber YouTube button opening on that as well. So that's something to look forward to. I've kind of been saving it for a special occasion. A nice face reveal, I think, fits into that category. So just interesting things like that. But my pleasure taking the time. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to come in and listen. Always appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for the support. We'll continue putting in work and effort into this channel. I enjoy it. It's my passion. You guys know that. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for staying in. 2 hours and 15 minutes. I think this is the longest stream I've done so far. But I hope you guys got some very, very good value out of it. Thank you so much. 42 thumbs up. Really appreciate all of you guys. Everyone have a great Wednesday. Safe, happy, healthy Wednesday. And then keep looking out for those daily videos, guys. And then I'll be back Sunday live for our next live stream. We'll come up with another interesting topic, and we'll go for another 2 hours probably that day as well. It seems quite easy for me to do at this point, where we're talking about healthy food and improving our health overall. Thank you so much for the questions. Maybe one day we'll do a live Q&A where we can just, have you guys come in and ask your questions. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. If you can join as a member, I appreciate that. Morgan, there you go. Or Sonia, there's our member here. Sonia, big shout out to you. Sonia, feel free to send me a message on my business email as a member. All right. Feel more than free to do that. All right. So you can, with any questions or anything like that, or if they're, I know you talked about consultations and things like that, but feel free to send me a message, any questions. More than happy to help with, since you're, we're so gracious to join as a member. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. Love doing this live stream. One of the best ones, I think, so far. Very, very fun. 2 hours, 15 minutes. We'll keep going strong. I will talk to you Sunday. We'll have an interesting chat then. Until then, you guys have a great day. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you and talk to you